Hey, what's up, guys? Spencer Rhodes here. So, in season 7 of The Walking Dead, in the first episode, Negan basically kills Glenn and Abraham. Glenn and Abraham were two major characters, especially Glenn. Glenn had pretty much been on the show since the very first episode of the series, and he had a huge fan base. But he also died the same death in the comics, so there was sort of that expectation of it possibly happening. And Abraham, his death kind of sucked. He was just sort of like the red herring for Glenn. I think they should have just like killed Glenn and kept Abraham around because, yeah. But I'm getting off track here. But yeah, basically Negan kills Glenn and Abraham in the season 7 premiere and bashes their heads in with Lucille. And Negan is basically the main villain for several seasons, and he doesn't die. He basically gets his throat slit by Rick, but Carl had died before then, so Rick tries to honor Carl's memory because Carl wasn't wanting people to die anymore, so Rick locked up Negan. And then, like 7 years later, Negan is sort of this reformed prisoner, and he doesn't really want to kill people for no reason anymore. He doesn't really want to be the leader anymore. He's kind of changed. He has a bond with Judith, who is Rick's daughter, and stuff like that. And he's kind of slowly redeeming himself, and he's been sort of slowly redeeming himself more and more every season. And I think in season 10 this year, he will continue to redeem himself, and we will continue to see more of that. But as for killing Glenn and Abraham, he's never really talked about that too much. He did during season 7 and 8. He said he enjoyed it, and it wasn't an accident that he picked Abraham, and he killed Glenn because Daryl forced his hand when he punched Negan, and Negan had already warned them not to do it. And he kind of justifies it over and over again, and kind of just relishes in that moment he had killing those people. And then in season 9, I think he's more disgusted by it. I really think that he kind of wishes he did things differently, especially after the big 6-year time jump. I think he really did change a little bit. He still has his funny attitude and his sarcasm, but I think he actually wants to help the good guys. He actually, he wants to reform and come out of prison, because in season 9, he tells Judith he won't kill anyone, and he just escapes. He runs off, and then he decides to come back. He decides to go back to these people who he knows hates them and be locked up again, possibly for the rest of his life. But he wants to do it anyway. And I think that's because he's trying really hard to change and be a good person. Because he said that Rick wanted to prove that everything and everyone could change, but Negan himself isn't getting a chance to change. So I think Negan is sort of wanting redemption. But as far as killing Glenn and Abraham goes, he didn't talk about that too much in season 9. He tried to get Maggie to kill him, which is something he does in the comics, and he brings up killing Glenn to sort of anger Maggie, but Maggie doesn't fall for it, and she ends up letting Negan continue to rot away in prison. And so that's pretty much all that Negan has talked about as far as Glenn and Abraham goes. Now, as for does he regret killing them? I mean, yeah, I'm sure he does. If he hadn't killed Glenn and Abraham, something much more peaceful probably could have been worked out with the kingdom and Alexandria. A lot of main characters and minor characters would still be alive. The saviors might still be a problem, but a lot of the saviors changed after Negan was locked up in prison. So some of the saviors could be saved and stuff like that, but Negan killed Glenn and Abraham. He made that choice. He started that war. All those people that died after Glenn and Abraham, Sasha, Carl, Tobin, Eric, Francine, Shiva, they're all kind of because they had to fight Negan and win the war. So I think Negan regrets starting that. I think Negan regrets all the people whose deaths he caused during the war and killing Glenn and Abraham, and realizing how much those two people meant to Rick, Daryl, Carl, Maggie, Michonne, how much they would have meant to Judith if she was really old enough to get to know them before they died. I'm sure Negan regrets killing Glenn and Abraham. I'm sure Negan completely regrets it. You know, he might not have changed completely. I'm sure that, you know, he'll be willing to kill Whisperers. It's even been hinted in the trailer that he'll fight the war. So, you know, he'll kill Whisperers, but that's different. I think no one cares about killing Whisperers. Even Negan, they don't care. So, other than that, I don't think he's going to be killing any more good guys. I think he is trying to redeem himself, and he does regret killing Glenn and Abraham. Anyway, that's all I have for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't be shy. Hit that like and subscribe. I'm not going anywhere. I make 1 to 2 Walking Dead videos per day, so please hit that subscribe button. Right now I am at 620 subscribers. My goal is to try to get to 700 in the next few months. So just remember, every subscriber counts. Every bit of support matters and is very, very appreciated. Hopefully we can get to that goal of 700. Anyway, with all that said, I'm Spencer Rhodes, and I will see you guys later. Bye.